Good morning and welcome to Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call, a fresh episode. Today is a very important day. This is a day of gloom and glory. This is a day of sin and redemption. This is a day of despair and hope. This day, 19 years back, some miscreants, terrorists, threw a bomb, or rather, not one, but four. And the bomb was the aircraft itself. They smashed into the Empire State Building, killing thousands of the people and creating a wave of nausea, dejection, despair, and misery, not only in America, but the whole world. The people were aghast. But then this was the day, a centuries back, 1893, that something wonderful took place in USA. And that's why I call this day, though separated by about a century, a day of hope, redemption coupled with despair and sin. As a matter of fact, every sinner has a future. That is what is said. I don't believe that. But every sin can be redeemed provided the grace is there. While most of the people are aware of this dastardly action of 2001, most of the people are not aware of what happened in 1893. But this was the historic day when Swami Vivekananda, a saffron-clad Hindu monk, delivered his historic speech in the World Parliament of Religions in Chicago. 2001 was a day when the people were divided. The people were divided between the sinners and the innocent, Muslims and the Sikhs, because of their resemblance and the turban, were looked at with fear and disgust. But this was a day, as I said, of redemption, and this is a paradox. The first time the day of redemption came before the day of sin. And Vivekananda called for what was needed in 2001, the urgent need of harmony among the world religions and putting an end to fanaticism. So his call in 1893 went unheeded, and that was a redemptive call that the religion ought not to become a fanaticism. It need not degenerate into a cult. He very clearly said we believe not only in universal tolerance, but we accept all religions as true, as opposed to the fanatics version is my religion which is the best. Others are infidels, kafirs. So this is a day when we have got to see that sectarianism, bigotry, and fanaticism I call horrible descendant of bigotry, they have long possessed this beautiful earth. They have filled it with violence, drenched it often in blood, destroys great civilizations, and sent whole nations into despair. Had it not been for religious fanaticism, the world would have been a much better place, much more human. much more lovely, much more enjoyable. And I fervently hope that the bell that tolled this morning in 2001 in honor of the convention may be the death knell, or rather the reverberation of the bell that tolled way back in 1893, and the death tolling of 2001 converted into death knell of all fanaticism, end of all persecution with a sword or pen, and uncharitable feelings towards others, especially those who do not belong to the faith of the fanatics. Unfortunately, 1893, the call for harmony among the religions went unheeded, and the world continued to suffer violence and hatred. Advances in communication and transport have converted this world into a global village. But is it really a village? The existing creeds and the ideologies continue to be the main source of conflict. So, need is to celebrate 9/11 not as a day of despair, but as a day of harmony of religions, for ushering in a global civilization to save the world from terrorism fueled by fanaticism. And as a matter of fact, this is an opportunity for India, especially, to become the world leader in creating a harmonious environment around the world. September 11, 1893, Vivekananda called for the idea of one India, one world. And it was clear the way he started his address. He said, "Sisters and brothers of America, I am proud to belong to a nation which has sheltered the persecuted and refugees of all religions and all nations of the world. The end aim of all science is to find the unity, the one out of which manifold is being manufactured, the one existing as many." Basically, the concept of Vedanta, that which exists as one, and sages might call it by different names. So, this call for unity, if properly implemented and promoted by India, can in fact enable India. This call is an enabling call so that India can be the world leader and what Modi calls the Vishwa Guru, the teacher of the world. Vivekananda's call was very clear that each nation has a destiny to fulfill, a message to deliver, a note to play the march of nations, and what it does, it serves itself and the entire world. For India, the theme has been spiritually oneness of all existence, and pursuing that destiny, cherishing at the same time all diversity. So when the people talk of diversity, I tell them, look here, if you want to know diversity, go to India. I remember I was giving a talk at Albany Club, and somebody said, well, look here, in Toronto, we are proud that we have got 44 languages. And I told him that in India, we have more than 200 languages, out of which 29 are official languages. And he was aghast. I told him we have more than 100 religions and cults, and the people still live together. There are fanatics. There are sometimes, rather many times, conflicts. But overall, the feeling of oneness and unity is always there. So, why should not India then be the first power of the world? Which other country has the undisputed right to extend spiritual sway of the world? That was Vivekananda's mission. India can once more be made aware of her greatness, with unique expertise in spirituality. One India, one word needs to be given a firm footing. And what he said was about Sanatana Dharma, that is for us nationalism. India is the guru of the nations, physician of the lacerated human soul in the profound melodies. She is destined once more to mold the world, restore peace and human spirit. That was a statement of Sri Aurobindo, the follower of Vivekananda. The sun of India would rise and fill all India with the light and overflow of that light of oneness in Asia and the whole world. As a matter of fact, Vivekananda was able to give a grand vision to the befuddled world and untold potentialities. And those need to be exploited. As I said, while 9/11 of 2001 was a sin, the redemption had already been there, the call for redemption in 1893. You have to achieve the word unity. And doesn't mean to set up a universal religion or to have one ummah, one nation, one religion all over the world. No. Even people, 46 countries belong only to Islam, and most of them are fighting with each other. They are groups, but the fights over there are really horrible. So religion is not a binding force, but the spirituality is a binding force. So what is required is intellectual belief and dogma. It means growing realization that there is a reality, a cosmic reality, which the humanity has to find together, work for it, strive for it, and achieve it. A spiritual oneness that would create a psychological uniformity and compelling oneness not moved by the mechanical means which are being adopted by the political leaders nowadays. This has to be something inborn, something instinctive. Otherwise, 9/11 of 2001 would continue to be a matter of horror, and the peace described in 1893 would elude. So, what is required that the peace and spirituality, oneness of mankind, that was a clarion call of Vivekananda, overcomes the fanaticism and the bloodshed shown on 9/11 of 2001. And there is a freer inner variation of freely varied self expression. And that self expression has to be basis of a higher type of human existence. And that would make India the world leader. And that would unite world. Let this day be a day of dedication to that idea of redemption, of glory, glory of the mankind, glory of the human qualities. And the sooner we do, the better it would be. Think about it. Thank you.